Hey everyone, this is Stacy. I am back again today with another Cricut Explore video. For today's video, I'll be cutting out cardstock to put on a piece of wood to make a sign. You can use vinyl if you want to, but I happen to have black cardstock and not black vinyl, but either or is good to use. I'll be cutting out my dog's name here and gluing it on my wood. So I'll be putting Buster's name here, maybe a paw print or a dog bone in the corners. I added 2 cup hooks to make a leash holder for my dog. Now this idea makes really great gifts for multiple of people and a multiple of reasons and lots of ways you can decorate them. Just a scratch piece of wood or a scrap piece of wood. If you don't have a dog, you can put your last name on here. Add cup hooks for your household keys. You can do it for a little girl's room, put her name on there, maybe a few flowers, and she can, again with the cup hooks, she can add her headbands, her little hair bows, maybe her little purse, a book bag, a jacket, even for a boy. You can put the boy's name on there, maybe a skateboard or rollerblades, whatever little boys are into, with the cup hooks, and they can hang up their book bags in a lightweight jacket. But they make really great gifts, and they're really easy to make, and they require minimal material. This was a piece of scrap wood we had in our shed. If you don't have scrap wood, you can go to your lumber yard and buy a larger piece of wood, and then you have them cut it down to whatever size you want it to be, maybe 12 or so inches, and then you can get a lot of signs out of that one piece of wood, or a lot of people, or for a lot of people that way. Alright, so mine is a scrap piece of wood that we got from Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the lumber yard stores. And this wood is actually called MDF. It's a microdensity fiberboard, meaning it's not a real wood. It's a compressed wood, you can see there. And the compressed MDF means it's less expensive than pine or say oak, but again, any kind of wood you have. And this was white when we bought it. It was a scrap piece, so in our shed it did get banged up and, just banged up from being in the shed. So rather than going back and then painting it to make it look new, I decided to scuff it up more by using drywall screens. This is basically a mesh. You get 2 in a pack in those, by the way. It looks like this, just like a hard mesh material that you would wrap around a sanding block and then sand down the spackle on your wall before you paint them. So I used that and just sanded it down just to get the white paint off to make it look more not so new, I guess, or equally old. I then took a screwdriver and just marked, like with this, just scratched the wood with the screwdriver, again to make it look more old. And what I like about this idea is that the little ones can do this. They can take a screwdriver and scratch the wood, depending on the age of the child. They can use a hammer maybe and add little knick-knack or little nicks in there, dings from the hammer. Even their Hot Wheel cars, they can take across and scratch up the wood. So they're involved in the project. So if they're going to give this to grandma or grandpa, they can say they helped make it versus, you making it and then saying, oh, it's from the kids. So I really like that the kids can get involved in doing that. Plus you're using cardstock, so they can of course get involved with the gluing of the process. All right, now the hardware stuff you're going to need. Again, very simple and inexpensive. This came in an assortment of a picture hanger assortment. You get all these little doodads in there to hang pictures. But you don't need the entire thing. You just need 2 pieces or 2 hardwares. One is called a cup or a eye hook, looks like that. The other one is a cup hook. And you can buy them in a big pack like that, or individually buy the cup hook or the eye hook or the cup hook at Walmart. I know for a fact sells them in a little baggie, as well as your hardware stores or the big box lumberyard stores. I used 2 eye hooks. I just came in about a 1/2 inch or so from my end. I did not measure. I then took a screw and a screwdriver just to get a hole formed. You can of course use a nail and a hammer. Just when I got a hole to where this would go in a little bit easier. I then screwed it in. Looks like that. Okay. With my cup hooks, since this is a leash holder, I only needed 2 hooks. So one for the handle part of the leash and the other part of the clipper part of the leash will get hung there. But again, you would use as many cup hooks as you want to. So if you're doing this for a family of just say 5 people and all 5 people have keys or drive or they would carry a key, you do 5 hooks for each of the key holders. Or a little girl's room, you can do 4 or 5 depending on what she's going to hang up. Headbands, hair bows, jackets, that kind of thing. Alright, little purses. So just the same idea, take your screw and get a hole started or a nail and then get the cup hook in there. Now the cup hook, you want to pay close attention to how thick or how deep your cup hook is. If you look here, they do come in various lengths as far as the screw part that's going to go on the wall or your piece of wood. So make sure that your cup hook is not going to go thicker than your wood. Okay, you can see that. You don't want to give a gift that's going to scratch the walls if the screw goes all the way through. Just take note of that when you buy your cup hook or your wood. Alright, and you can either buy the wood and the cup hooks all at the same store if you're going to get it at a lumber yard. And like I said, they will cut the wood for you. So I did that, got them in there. And that's it. That's the hardware. Now to attach this to the wall, I'll be using black ribbon. because I'm using all black here. You know, this is actually even a seam binding. So if you're doing it for a girl or a home decor item, you can of course use ribbon. For a boy, I wouldn't use ribbon. I'd maybe use like a twine or a jute rope, or even like a small chain. You know, the little itty bitty chains, you can use that to just make it more boyish and less feminine. Alright, so when I'm done doing the cardstock, I'm just going to take, you know, tie this to a knot here and tie it to a knot there. So I would hang it with the ribbon using one nail. Alright? But when you're done all that and you got all your scuff marks and the way you want it to do, you do the way you want it to look, just take a wet paper towel and just lightly wipe anything, their dust off. Just make sure there's no dirt or dust on here, otherwise your vinyl or your glue is not going to stick. Now for the glue, I'll be using Mod Podge. Very inexpensive if you make it your own. I use, for my Mod Podge, is 2 parts of school glue to 1 part of plain water. So it's really easy to make. You can do equal parts of water and glue. I find that to be a tad bit too runny. So I'll be using 2 parts glue, 1 part water. Alright, so now my design. I figured out my measurements here. My piece of wood is 17.5 inches long. A tad bit too long for what I wanted to use it for, but it's okay. I'll use it anyway. So it's about 3¼ inches sewer tall. And I'll be using 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So my design here, the most I can get for my word, will be 11 inches. So for Buster's name, I have about 3 inches by 11 for his name, which will go in the center. And I think for this side here, I can do a large paw print. I may do 1 large paw print and maybe a few smaller ones over here. Not quite sure, but you can, again, if you're using cardstock, you can cut this and do as many colors as you want. I'm just going to do all black. And plus my living room where this is going to go is black, so it'll be fine. That'll match my decor. Alright, so let's go ahead to the Cricut and start cutting this out. Alrighty guys, we're now at the computer. Let's go ahead and go to the Cricut Design Space webpage. I just got done doing a firmware update, so I'm not sure if speed is a factor with that or if my computer is just really slow today. But you want to go ahead and log in by clicking on that little green box in the upper left hand corner, then enter in your email and your password here. And then once you can verify you're logged in by seeing your name, you want to go here and click on Create New Project. And what I'm going to do first is make a template of my piece of wood. And my piece of wood was 17.5 wide by 3¼ tall. So I'm going to go here, Insert Image. I'm going to type in the search box the word square. Hit enter. Find a square, click on it, and then click on Insert Images. Alright, there's my square. I'm going to go to my Edit panel. And I'm going to change this to a wonky size. So to do that, I need to unlock that lock that's connecting the width and height. So click on that. You'll see the lock open. Now my width, I'm going to type in 17.5. Hit enter on my keyboard. My height, I will do 3.25. Enter on my keyboard. I'm going to close the Edit panel out. Now I have my rectangle that represents my piece of wood. I'm going to go ahead and change the color of that from this pink color by clicking on the Layer panel, changing that to white. Alright, now let's grab our text. Over here on the left, click on Add Text, and I'm going to do my dog's name, which is Buster. And I'm going to change the font. So in my Edit panel, click on the font screen, and then scroll down until you find a font that you like. And I'm going to be using Don Juan. I'm sure you probably guessed that by now. Wait for that to change. Alright, close my edit window out, and use the handles here to make this large. Make sure it's going to fit in my frame here, my template. Alright, let's go and check on the Edit panel. Okay, the width of my word is 10.18. I can go a little bigger than that. I'm at 10.8. I think that's a good size. Alright, so that is how Buster will look on my thing. Change my color of Buster over here in my layer panel by clicking on the B and changing that to black, which would be the color of my cardstock. Alright, now I want to go in and add a paw print. Let's go to Insert Images again. In the search box, we're going to type in paw print and hit enter. And let's find a little paw print that we can use. Let's scroll down. And since we typed in print, we're going to get handprint and footprint as well as like a fingerprint. Okay, it's still thinking. Just looking for a plain dog type print. Okay, looks like that's it. Let's go back up. Alright, there's that one, 99 cents. No, thank you. This one is from Life's a Party. Let's click on that one. I'm going to insert image. Now it's going to cut that round piece out. I don't want to have that cut out. I just want the paw print. I'm going to right click on my design, hit hide contour, and then click on the circle to hide the circle. Then click on my screen, and you'll see the circle will go away. Now we can rearrange this on our piece here. I'm going to change the color of it by going to my layer panel and change that to black. Now we can do one large paw print like that, or we can do little paw prints. I think I kind of like them like that. We can turn it a little bit. Maybe the paw print's too big. I'm not liking that. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's go ahead and click on that. So I'm going to go up top on my toolbar, hit copy and paste. It'll give me 2 paw prints. I take this one over here on the left and rotate that one as well. I can put this one kind of lower and that one up top. What do you think? I kind of like that. I could make Buster a little bit taller here by skewing it a little bit, because he's not going to go straight. I'm going to put that on there crooked as well. Alright, I like that look. Let's go ahead and hit go. Alright, now, oh, hang on, the image is too large, so 12 by 12 matte, change to 12 by 24 matte. Oh, I know why, because we have this rectangle. We want to go ahead and delete that rectangle that we made for our template. So click on that and hit delete on your keyboard. Now we have just the word. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and hit go. Let's see what this looks like on our mat preview. Now remember, my paper is 8.5 by 11, so it can't go past 11 inches there. Alright, I think that's going to be a tad bit too big right there, so I need to go back and rearrange these. I'm going to go hit the X on that. I'm going to click on my word Buster and ungroup that. Alright, now I can go ahead and go. This way, when it's ungrouped, I can take the letter and move the letters around to make sure they're going to fit on my cardstock. Alright. Well, it made them all wonky. I completely misspelled it. That's kind of funny. Alright, so I think I'm good that way. Okay, so here I can see there is 10 inches. There's a little number there, so I'm good that way. Alright, let's go ahead and hit go. And we're going to please wait. Please confirm your turn the machine on. I just did the update a moment ago, the firmware update. I guess it restarted my machine. I didn't even hear it restart. That's kind of weird. Alright, so the machine is on. I am waiting. Yeah, I did the firmware update and my light stayed on red. It was like in stuck mode, so I just closed out of the entire internet, or my browser went back in and redid the firmware update, and it went fine that time. Alright, so we have our cut preview. Let's go ahead and take it to the Cricut and we'll cut this out. Now we're just going to load our cardstock on here. Hit the load button. And we're going to cut it out. Yeah, so if you're using cardstock, again, you guys can use any color cardstock you want. Of course, you can do the same thing with vinyl, any color vinyl, but cardstock is a little bit cheaper than vinyl. And it comes in a wide array of colors. And you can just simply just Mod Podge that onto your piece of wood. It's kind of funny how it made the letters completely out of order because I ungrouped it. Okay, a few more to go. The letter E and the 2 paw prints. Alright, last one, it should be finished. Alright, let's go unload it. And we have our letters all cut out. Alright, let's go to the craft table and put this on our piece of wood. Alright guys, we're back at the table. Let's go ahead and take our cardstock off. Let's take our letters off as well. And the paw prints. Just set them aside. Alright, set this aside. Let's grab our piece of wood. Let's lay our word out how we want it to look. And like I said, I'm going to go kind of crooked on some of the letters, so it's not so straight. I'm going to kind of get them centered here. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's take our paw prints. Get them how we want them to go. Alright, so there's one paw print. Let's do the other one now. And this one I'm going to go down here a little bit lower. Alright, so what do you think? I think that looks pretty good. Let's take our, this is just a lid I keep. It's from a peanut butter container. I keep this in my room, and I use this for my Mod Podge. And our Mod Podge is 2 parts of school glue to 1 part of water. And here you need a foam brush. I'm going to cut this. It's a little bit too big. You can look there where the plastic is, so you can cut from that plastic up. I usually buy them the smaller ones, but my husband got these in a big old bag, and they came with these ginormous ones. Let me wipe that glue from my mat really quickly. And now we're just going to Mod Podge it on. So kind of just take your letters off. We're going to take our glue, our Mod Podge, and then I'm going to do the entire wood first. So your letters have something to stick to. Remember, you want to take a damp towel and wipe it off so you don't have no dust there, okay? So get a good amount of glue just where your letters can stick. Then put them on there. And a little more glue on this side. Alright. Now once your letters are on there, just take your brush and just to get them down there to stick, to stay. Now we'll go back over them in a moment. Move my tea over a little bit here. Okay, so that's on there. Let's do our paw prints as well. Take your glue. Okay, so we have the paw print. And the nice thing about working with the cardstock versus the vinyl is that if you don't get it right the first time, you can kind of have a little bit of wiggle room to finagle it a little bit. So the vinyl, once it's down there, it's down there. Alright, so let's take this and just carefully go over each one to get it to stick to the Mod Podge, and then we'll kind of go over it a little bit once it's down there. Alright, and then another one over here. More Mod Podge. Get that down there. Take your paw print piece. Put that down there, and then again you just readjust it so it looks more like a paw print. I think it looks good. Take something to hold that down so it doesn't shift on you. Alright, so now once everything's down the way you want it, you want to go back over it with your glue again and do the whole entire thing. Get down there by your hook. This way, you know, you can wash it, or take a, you know, not wash it, but, you know, take a rag to it and just clean it. And your letters are going to be protected. Again, if you were using vinyl, you wouldn't, of course, you don't need to do this part here. You want to get a nice even coat on there. And you want to be careful when you're going over your letters, because when you get between the letters, you're going to get a little bit of bulk there. Or not really bulk, just extra, like a glue pile up, if you will. Okay, so just, now I'm going to kind of go over it in one direction. Okay, we're going to let this dry and come back and do our second coat. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, we're now on our second coat. I did speed up the drying process by using my heat gun on it, just so it wouldn't be that long. Alright, now we're going to do another coat on it. And you want to at least, you know, go to that hook, because any place that you miss the Mod Podge, you're going to tell. You're going to be able to tell because it has like a little bit of shine to it. You just go over each one. Nice even coats. Then we're going to dry this with our heat tool again, or you can let it dry. If it's a nice day out, you can put it out there and let the breeze dry it naturally, or you can speed it up either way. Just make sure you get all the areas, the whole top of the wood, and then I'm going to do the top, or the front part of the wood here, and then we're going to do the top where our little eye hooks are. We're going to do that one as well, as far as the Mod Podge. I want to get near the hooks again as well. You get glue on it, just take a rag or a wipey and come back and get it off there. Okay. Alright, so we're good on the top. Now let's do the top part as well. And again, this just so we can clean it, and it'll be easier to clean if it gets dusty or whatnot. Okay, so there's that. So our top is done. I just want to go over that little curve just to make sure there's no runs of your glue. Okay, we're all going to do the sides as well. This way everything is sealed. Okay, let's do this side. Over there. Again, go back over your top so you don't get a run there. Okay. Alright. So we have that. We can do the bottom as well. With the hook up here. And so it's nice that we have a hook in there because it gives us a place to grab it. And you might want to lay paper down if you're working on your cutting mat like I am, but I'll just take a wipey and get it off when I'm done. Alright, so our entire thing is glued up. I'm going to go back with my heat tool and we're going to dry it with our heat tool, so hang on. Alrighty guys, I went ahead and did my second coat of Mod Podge. I think 2 coats is fine. So we did the top coat, the front here twice, and our outside edge all the way around in 1 coat. I did take my Cricut spatula when it was a little bit dried and kind of went like this across my letters to give the letters so they wouldn't look so shiny and new, just to make them match the wood a little bit behind it. Alright, so now we're going to take our Mod Podge left over and pour it back in our container. Alright, so we got that. So we're saving on our Mod Podge, and then we can wash this out later. Alright, so now we're going to take our ribbon. Now what you want to pay attention to is how tight you make this. I'm first going to just put it in over here on this eye hook. Put a knot. Now you can of course make a bow if you want to do this, but he's a boy dog. And boy dogs don't do bows. I'm going to double knot it. Okay. And then bring it over here. I'm going to cut some of this off. I don't need all of this ribbon. I'm going to come in the same way from the back. Alright, now if you left it tight like this or loose, when you hang it, the weight of the wood is going to give you that give. Okay, so you don't want to allow for that like that because it's going to give you more. So I'm going to actually just make it nice and tight right here like this. Not tight, but taut. And tie this one as well. And bring it down to my eye hook over there. Okay, so I have a little bit of give. I'm going to tie it again. Another knot. And one more knot. And then what I'm going to do, I kind of like these hanging, this little piece of ribbon. So I'm going to take my scissors again, just cut that off. So now what we're going to do now is find a wall to hang it on. Get a nail, and you're going to hang it, and that little bit of ribbon right there is going to make it be, you know, you can hang it up. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Let me find a nail and a hammer, and we're going to go hang this up in a spot where we think will look cute. Alrighty guys, that is where our Buster sign is hung. It's right behind my main door when you walk in. Looks pretty cute. His leash is hanging up there, so now he has his own little spot for his leash. Give you a close-up look at it. Alright, so pretty simple, right? Anybody can do it. Any questions, guys, let me know. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time.